Greetings, this is Kal Kat the Kal Katster, and this is BayCon 2014 recap, day 1. Well, actually midday to day 1. I did not arrive at the adventure until about 3:30 or so, because, yeah, we forgot that this was the weekend that the convention was being held, so, yeah, got the tickets for the whole weekend, because it would be less expensive that way to go all the days, and only because when I got there it was actually crowded. There were people there again. It was like BayCon 2011 all over again, and there were all the people there, and so I decided to go there, and so this is the Kal Katster, or Kitty Key, the martial sportist, going over to possibly BayCon. I'm going to check out BayCon. If it sucks, we will not stay there. We'll go on to Fanime. So there you go. Kitty Key signing off. Okay. There's an Ed 209 at BayCon 2014. Just so you know.
Almost verbatim, John Carpenter. Yeah. In a half an hour, he did.
Although I went to only really one panel, I did get to scope out the place and see everybody, and some of the other ones from the past. Of course, the Andersons who usually go to those, they weren't there. I think I may have seen Mr. Anderson, but not the other one. And I saw other people that usually run the con. They were there, and really know their names or anything. Greetings from BayCon 2014. I'm going to go check out the dealer's room before going to one of the panels. It is 4 o'clock. This is a report from the con. So that's what I'm going to do. Not bringing the camera in there. They were there. The guest author is David Weber, who you might recognize from the Honor Harrington series. His female protagonists were often featured, inspired of stuff. Here we have a book. This guy, the Honor Harrington guy, David Weber. He's the only author that I know of at the convention. I don't know him personally. I've heard of him before. Yeah, that's it. So I'm going to go to the panel that's at 5 on this person. So yes, and that's what I'm going to do. Yeah, I'm at BayCon 2014, and it's actually way busier than last year. There's actually people here. Unbelievable. I guess they really wanted to come this year. They should have come in 2012 because that was 2012. They should have done a 2013 one for for that thing. They didn't do that. I guess they figured now that's phony end of the world stuff to freak people out. Well, there you go. I'm a tourist, right? The hero in that, the hero ladies in that are kind of like that idea. Also, let's see who else. There's been a lot of stuff like that, but he's a guy, and he writes about this female leader. Hey, I didn't see the one that introduced his books. I saw the panel where he was like talking about the science fiction. Hard science fiction doesn't have to be hard. In which he basically didn't really talk about that so much as what were the best and what were the worst types of sci-fi movies and screw-ups. Far more interesting topic, actually. And he went on with that. I'm in a corridor at the top of the 2nd level, and yeah, so here's the corridor at the top of the 2nd level, and yeah, decided to film up here. I'll show you something funny though down there in a second. This isn't as funny as the one year with the room. This room says no lobsters allowed. Yes, that's amusing. Yes, no lobsters allowed. I haven't seen any giant lobsters, but yeah, there you go. Here we have, and here we have. There was also, the Gophers were more friendly because there were more people around, and some of them were jovial. I caught a glimpse of a few of them. There's a lot more teenager Gophers, I guess, this time around. So they were all like texting and stuff in this one room and stuff. It was kind of bizarre. They weren't communicating with each other. They were either watching TV or texting. And so they were like, maybe they were texting each other in the room together. It's like, we don't want to talk to each other. We'll just computer. And there's actually more people out here. It's like this one. And then you can look out on the balcony and see all of the people below. So yeah, just touristy shot here. The tinfoil hat. Interesting. So yes, I was at the swap meet. I was at a panel, David Weber panel thing, and yeah, so that was in the other building, but I didn't film that. I just thought it would be funny to film this. So I got something here. Yeah. So yeah, the theme was honor. The theme is, I guess, in honor of the Honor Harrington. Okay. Yeah. Yeah. The cover is apparently art. The artwork is apparently an artist of some renown with sci-fi covers. I hadn't seen him or her yet. Perhaps tomorrow I will see them. Also on the cover is apparently what looks like a steampunk bunny, but actually it's not. It's a steampunk female lamb goat, which is interesting. Lamb goat. Yeah. Because it's got goat horns, but it looks like a female. So it's anthropomorphic goat lamb with horns. I don't know if female goats have horns. Maybe they do. Maybe some of them do on that particular planet. And yeah, and that would make her a horny goat. There was a wall that said the tinfoil hat room, which I thought was pretty funny. At least they can mock themselves. Why not? And they were making costume pieces and stuff, which could be cool. I could go in there and see if I can make something. Yeah. So. See, where is it? Ooh, his thumb was all messed up, so all he could write was his two initials. So yeah, he had like writer's cramp or something. Anyway, so yeah, so a lot of noise in there. So yeah, BayCon 2014, which is way better than the one in 2013 was. Yeah, we will see tomorrow. Maybe it'll be dead again. Oh man. But yeah, this time it was alive and frisky. So, the dealer's room wasn't as big, but yeah. Headshots here of myself. Doing a selfie of myself. I'd love you this. The convention. And BayCon 2014. Yeah, it was David Weber and 3 other people. A moderator and 2 others. Yeah, and yeah, we got some people. There weren't as many costumed people. Actually, the martial sportist kitty key thing was actually unusual there, so I probably will do it again. At least to do it again. Or either that, or I could go with the second day being more of a thing that would pass for modern somewhere else. Like, you can't just wear the fake martial art gi thing everywhere just at the convention, but I could wear like the sport costume thing anywhere. So I might put on the sport outfit with one of the other belts and do that and be like the other guy in the room or something. Yeah, they should have totally photobombed me. That would have been awesome if they walked by. This wave. Anyways, so totally okay. Let's see. So yeah, I guess I'll show you around here a little bit. And yeah, the panel was interesting. It was on sci-fi. It was supposed to be on sci-fi, like how to make hard science fiction not sound so hard, but it turned out to be like your views on best read sci-fi books or best read sci-fi movies instead, which was more interesting actually than just straight up hard science fiction. It's too hard. They went off on a tangent. So. Oh well, that's usually what usually happens. I want to show you around. Yeah. I did find the book from the author guy, so yeah, got him just sign it. He looked a bit like, well, where do you want me to sign this one? This isn't my best one. Oh. Well, I didn't know. And then there was some other guy who was waiting in line to sign it, and this other guy who was like, yeah, he had issues. He was like thinking, like, you know, one of those people that thinks that, like he wasn't like reading my mind, but he thought he was or something. And I was like, okay, that's a little weird. And he was like, I was like, yeah, I'm not sure when I met him either, and he's not sure when he met him. And then he said, I'm not sure when you met him. And was I a kid or was I 20 or something? But actually, I was talking about the book, not about him meeting him earlier. He was on a different planet than I was. So I was saying, no, I wasn't a kid. The other guy was probably a kid because he was younger. And then I was in my early 20s when his first books came out. And somewhere in my book collection, I've got one of those Harrington books. Probably the first one. Or maybe the second one. I can't find it. Not in the short notice. I could buy it again, I guess. $8, seven something. You can buy it. So yeah, yeah. There you go. At least I knew him more than Mercedes Lackey at that convention years ago. I didn't know her really at all. Oh. Went on to read like some of her Griffin stuff, and stopped at book 2. Just and lost interest. This is for the tracking through the crowd here. I'm just showing the layout. All of the people in this. Where the convention is. Yeah, so we have. There's a lot of costumes. It's mostly just the thing, and then they track down this corridor toward the, I guess the thing. And we went down the corridor when it was in low res. Now we're going to high def walk down the corridor. And here we have corridor. I was out there. I was up there. Let's see. This is where we follow. This is the reverse way that we followed. I followed the stories years ago. A few years ago. This is reverse. So going back the other way. That would be this way.
There's an art show over here.
Yeah. Oh yeah. They were talking about how bad science and sci-fi movies and stuff would be the case. And they went to questions and answers without even bringing up Battlefield Earth, so I did. And they're like, oh, we totally forgot about that one. Yeah, that was bad too. Yeah, like the Harrier jet that's like 1 million years old. Apparently, the Battlefield Earth movie people stole that from a book called Under the Ice or something, on which they did the same thing. The aliens thought out this plane from years ago and somehow managed to operate it after it had been buried for 20 years. It's like, no, that's not going to happen. That gas still works in the plane, right? And the weapons still work. Yeah, it's not going to happen. Anyway, so there's my recap. Yeah. Ooh, hello, it's Kal Kat as the military space guy. And this is day 2 of BayCon 2014. And I'm going to go in there and go to one of the panels on the one of the guests of honor. I believe it's the art person, or maybe it's... No, this is the third guy. It's the other author that I don't know. So I'm going to go in on that. It's a little after 10, and I'm going to head over there right now before the security people think that I'm just filming cars in the parking lot. Okay, so I'm going to go now. Oh, yeah. Greetings. Okay, that first panel that I walked into, about halfway through it, there was lag. 2 guys talking, and there was lag. Maybe 5 people sitting really close to him in the ballroom. No one else there. I didn't go to that panel after a while. I left that panel because it didn't make any sense to be there. So I went to the dealer's room and I chatted with a couple of authors who had written some books about like noir characters in San Francisco and about black holes and stuff. So yeah, and chatted about the Kardashev's laws of civilization and about Mars terraforming and stuff. So yeah, because they wrote some terraforming books. Apparently one of them also wrote a book where Wyatt Earp is a ghost. That could be interesting. He was a ghost and... So anyway, yeah, I'm gonna go to another panel now. Hopefully, there are actually people there. So here's some costumes over there, and I'm going to shoot some pictures of this shelly thing here. Yes, here we have these Alcatraz walls. I guess there's like some other thing with Alcatraz going on. I think it's unrelated. They just set it up for some other thing. If it is related, then it's funny. So this Alcatraz thing. And it's like a little, like, Alcatraz. I'm just not sure that I have this up. But I'd get a shot of it, lest I forget about it. It's very strange. And then there's like an Alcatrazian toilet. The Game of Thrones right there. There it is, the Game of Thrones. Porcelain God. So I'm sure some of the convention goers had to bow to earlier. But I didn't get to see. Let's see. There's like a thing over here. Some kind of... He escaped from Alcatraz. Awfully cold in San Francisco Bay. So there's an actual jail over here, which is hilarious. So yeah, I just thought I would show that. His name is awesome. Okay. This is more of the update from the show. I went to another panel meeting of the authors, and this is Ursula Vernon, Viking hamsters, and other strange things. So yeah, just telling you about that. Also, she wrote the...
I've got my crap out.
Let's look it up later. Dragon Breath, that was it. Serious. I think they're internet, they're like photo novels, graphic novels. Anyway, so I am going to go to another panel, and it is about 2. So that's the update so far. BayCon 2014 recap day 2. Well, officially Sunday. Actually, I wasn't there for day 1, which would have been Friday. So it was mainly Saturday and then Sunday. Sunday, I went to 3 panels. The one in the middle was boring, so I only went to half of that. there were mainly about that David Weber author and some other people that were there, that were also authors and artists and stuff. I didn't go to the panel at 2. Well, there was a panel. There was one about there was a couple of them, but there was some Royal Navy thing. I guess it's related to the David Weber thing, but it was like a staff meeting of their club. So yeah, I'm not in their club, so it wouldn't make any sense for me to go in there. But, so yeah. So the next one. Thing. I guess I could show some of this balcony area off and stuff. There was, I'll add to that the lunch was gross. It was a hamburger, but it wasn't really a hamburger. It was sort of a hamburger. And then there was there was a Doctor Who BOF, a BOF, but it wasn't boffing. It was a Best of Friends. I guess that's what they call their little like clique. There's a Doctor Who one there out there on the patio, and that was, they were all bizarre. But yeah, there were other ones out there later on. There was a Bromie one later on, but of course I didn't go to that. I don't know anything about Bromies besides, of course, Mark's Cards, who's a Bromie. But he wasn't at this, so yeah. That. Over here, look over the people's on the balcony. Yay! See, it's a pretty good crowd here. Yeah, so, and then there was the panel at the end with the thing. Oh yeah, there was I didn't get any footage of this person, but there was a corset boob mishap. Apparently this very heavy set lady was down in the area by the bar, and they put on this giant corset thing on her because they had the corsets, you know, it was a corset theme thing. Some of the steampunk people, Elizabethan people and stuff, and they put hers on, but they didn't tell her to put like anything over the top, so basically her boobs were spilling out of it. And because she was kind of homely and heavy set and stuff, yeah, it wasn't a pleasant sight. But I saw nipples, and so did everybody else that walked by her. They were literally like the edges of the Oreals could easily be seen, like chunk. It was hilarious. It was scary. Of course, the Aureals. Everything else stuck out too, so it wasn't like, ooh, there's a chick with double D tits. Oh, no, it wasn't like that. It was like, oh god. So yeah, that was the crowd show. So that was crowd show. So more at the moment. We'll have 2. Okay, signing off.
Eleanor.
Yes. It's 15 minutes before 5, and or it's around 5. And I was just in a panel again with the David Weber from the University. This one was about the world building thing of it. It's supposedly about the military aspects of it and science, but it was more of the world building, which makes sense. I guess there's a lot of, it's military sci-fi, so there's a lot of that. It's interesting that Destiny's is also military sci-fi, but more fantasy. Actually, mine is more fantasy. Anyway, so much more. Yeah, they're gonna find errors in there. Scientists will call me and they'll go like, "No, that's not right. Planet isn't where he said it was." So that's the panel. Let's see what else. There's one more possible panel. Let's see. Yeah. Check that out. Okay. And yeah. object. And there's like a shot of these things, that, and it's sort of a device of some kind. Yeah, so they've got these things here. It's a convention. They have these funny things, and I guess to simulate the space stuff on the mothership thing. Yeah, so they got this weird sort of door, evacuation airlock, I guess is what it is. Strange that it's square. Yeah, square airlock. And here we have
So you're in.
a weapon? Drive coil?
Yeah.
It's probably some kind of meter scanner device.
Thank.
Yeah.
I am. 1, 2. Sit in on that.
It's making radiation noises. That's cool. There's a lot of people up here on the second deck here. Some more people. Yeah, greetings. I've just been to a panel that lasted over an hour and 20 minutes or so, and it was supposed to be on like how science and technology and science fiction has changed, but it was more about gender equality and politics, and science fiction has changed from the 50s on to now. So that's the last panel that I'm going to see this evening, and there was discussion of all manner of gender politics and whatnot, and how that evolves, and how feminism evolves. It's like 6 panels going on together, as the lady said. So yeah, there was very little about like eugenics, a little bit, and the races. There was about the use of the word native and stuff like that, colonies and hybrids and things. Other than that, well, there's your review of that panel. I'm not sure who was hosting it. It's probably in the book somewhere, but there you go. So yeah, that's what happened. This is what's going on in the lobby. It's a lot of costumed people. It's kind of disappointing. There's a few. That's it. So that's it from tonight. There you go. Ooh, and some of the artists were much older, and they were now since forgotten. And there was oh yeah, the art graphic novelist was named Ursula something. Varner, yeah. And the lady that does the Harry Potter parodies was there as well. Oh, and she remembered me apparently that I bought one of her Harry Potter parodies 3 years ago. Uh-oh. But yeah, there was a couple other ones as well. Yeah, so people encouraging novel writing and things like that because it's kind of a dying art. And yeah, to see it in paper, it's all on the internet now. And so you got some paper books. You could get paper books there for cheap. You know, become a novelty thing. You know. But yeah, so that's about it. That's the recap for Sunday. See you tomorrow. BayCon 2014, final day, half day. Greetings, Captain. BayCon 2012, greetings, yes. Great. Kal Kat here, BayCon 2014, final day recap and whole thingy. I would say it's worth going to 2015, actually, because 2014 was pretty good. Yeah, so there was worthy stuff there. Hopefully they actually get other authors that I've heard of even more. But a lot of those guys are dead, so they'll have to look for some that aren't. Monday, final day of BayCon 2014. I'm going to rush over to the panel on black holes, and then we'll discuss it afterward. So, on my way in, I'm dressed as Nick Locarno from Star Trek Chimera. Man, why not? So yeah, and I'm filming myself as I walk in here. There, so yeah. So the Black Holes and Time Warps panel went off on a tangent because two of the authors were for that black hole book that I bought yesterday. They were running it, and David Weber was there, and a physicist. And apparently, the ones that were the most fantasy were saying the physicist was full of it, which of course is ridiculous. And yeah, I think the physicist probably knows what he's talking about, but that was a little weird. So, and I went into the dealer's room, and there was that character, last name of Finkel, who was publishing a bunch of parody books, and apparently some legitimate ones since then. And I bought one of the parody book anthologies. So we'll go to another panel that I'm probably late for, and see what happens there on how sci-fi writing has changed. So that's where I'm going next, and not as busy a crowd this time around. Let's see, yeah, Monday. So, there's a chandelier behind you. Yes, I am now updating you on the latest. This is the last panel that I went to of the convention. Well, there's probably two more, but I think I'm leaving this one. This was on how science fiction has influenced culture. And it went off on a tangent too. And there was lots of people asking bizarre questions, mainly about healthcare and mental illness and stuff, which I don't think the panelists knew anything about because they were there for science fiction, and I think the one lady was a sci-fi author, gives some advice on that. But the physicist lady was there, and she was not a healthcare person. And also, there was the physicist guy from the black hole thing in there, and the whole time, it's like burying his head in his hands going, oh. So he was like, oh, you had a these people yelling, oh. And he was like, wait. He just didn't want to say anything. He's just like, oh, what am I doing here? I could even tell that. Yeah, because it was pretty obvious. He was like doing the whole either that or it was really drunk. Maybe he'd had a few too many. That would be awesome. But if he had, he would have been loud. So he wasn't. But he just had a headache. He could have excused himself. I guess he was somewhat amused. So that's it from BayCon 2014. Basically get a shot of the crowd hereabouts and then move on from there. A lot of the panels went overboard, as they usually do. Some of them weren't on topic for about a third of their panel, and they went off on a tangent. Some even commented on that later on, one of the guests, including the people who were Weber fans who were like, oh, what's with that black hole panel? Oh, doesn't make sense. Well, yeah, if you're talking about black holes and warp drive and stuff with a bunch of sci-fi guys, sci-fi nerds, World War, all that. But yeah, you're going to get all kinds of fanatical people, even in the panel, who are like, I know what I'm talking about. My spaceship does this better than your spaceship. Black hole, I can fly through it like in Disney. No. So there are certain laws to science fiction you can't break, even if some authors break it. Yeah, that's because you can tell an amateur writer from an actual, like, a novice from an actual writer that actually gets, like, awards and stuff for it, gets published. Is the ones that do actually get stuff know what they're doing. The ones that don't, they're the fan guys that are reading it. Like, oh, what about the space aliens and whatever, so it's like, yeah, so. It doesn't look that crowded down there, then you come back. There we are. Crooked and stuff. panel to 2 o'clock on how sci-fi has changed the world. I think there was one similar 3 years ago. The other one, and yeah, so it's that. So we just asked about an update about Star Trek Chimera. We had a bit of a hiatus for the last month and a half. My mother had surgery, so basically the month of April and the month of May are done. So yeah, also we were on the other show, Kal Kat show, we were doing. We had some renovation issues and some that are still ongoing, and as well as a third of the cast not wanting to be on film, and other cast members getting mad about like the other stuff that got them kicked out. So they're not on the show anymore. So basically, it's now the Mark's Cards or Kal Kat and Mark's Cards show, basically, and no one else, which is kind of strange, but yeah, that's the way it is. So over there at Star Trek Chimera, we have, we are shooting for a date of not December, not Christmas, but February 13th, Valentine's Day of 2015 is the launch of the movie. The trailer should be out by December, hopefully. I mean, we have to advertise it weird. And yeah, so that'll be awesome. We have a teaser. The teaser that's on the net is not the teaser. That's just a test footage. It's not the teaser. And as for Distant Destinies of the Future, I was currently editing the first book for being republished under On Location, and instead of the other company, and hopefully I can get the ISBN and all that together and stuff. I'd also like to set up the Destiny's fan club websites again, and all of that other stuff that was associated with it when it was still a book under the other group, and hopefully we'll be working on that. And so yeah, there are more coming out when Distant Destinies relaunches in late 2014, early 2015. It'll be followed by book 2, which is already done. So pretty quickly, book 2 is going to be out. And then book 3, which is already done. As for 4, 5, and 6, they still need some work, so they're still in the editing stages. So yeah, the other 2, they're all 3 are coming out, the first 3. Let's see what they look like. They'll be online. Yeah. As for any ideas from this particular con, no new ones directly. I didn't really see anything that jumped out at me that says, oh, you know what you gotta do this, because yeah, there should be a space dragon in it or something. No, there already are space dragons. But there will be spin-offs, apparently. Rather than doing another series in that universe, I think the way to go will be spin-off standalone stories that could be evolved into series if they wanted to. So the current one is that Colony one we were kicking around for years. And that's the one in the Carina star cluster. And that should be really awesome, actually. That's the first one. And there's going to be a chapter called The Battle Edith Carina. Which should be cool. So we'll see that. Also, we have a term for the book. We didn't know that it wasn't really religious science fiction. It wasn't really. It's not really religious science fiction. It's space opera. It's also military space fantasy. So there you go. Yeah, that's what it's called. But it's science fiction too, and that there's some science, but yeah, I'm not a scientist. Bachelor's of Science in Journalism doesn't make you a scientist, just, you know. But some of the astronomy works next year. I'm gonna go up to that panel now, and so check that out. Nothing new about that one. There is in the studio, there is a Chimera poster that came out too dark of the Starfield making the Star Trek chevron, and it says Destiny has been taken. The Star Trek Chimera. I'm in the Chimera outfit. discussing Benedict Cumberbatch. And apparently there's a character on Benedict Cumberbatch's Sherlock Holmes that looks like me. So look that up. It's not me. Anyway, so yeah. That up. Yeah. So there you go. For now, BayCon here on the second level, second deck. There will also be Chimera books and things. There will, the fan club will expand. It's already a website, and there will be an RPG role-playing game. Yep. That's right, just like the old original, but you won't be able to go all Mary Sue in this one. It'll be more like dedicated adventures you can go on in that universe. Yeah, so see you later. Shot of some. Maybe the shot down here of the crowd. Oh, I can't really see them. Yeah. Oh, it's all blurry. Oh well. Greetings. Just now. 3? Yes, around there. There was a panel, it's about 3:20, and there was a panel on social media and sci-fi. The last panel that I will attend at the end of this BayCon 2014, and they went off topic about halfway through, as is typical of the deal, and began discussing how to improve BayCon using social media instead of which they would be going to the PERS thing, but I don't need to go to the PERS thing. And instead of discussing social media in sci-fi, so since social media in fandom is what it became, and then it became social media in that. They discussed movie spoilers, internet spoilers, and whatnot. Now, slightly before that panel, I encountered the Navy people who were used as the background information people for the Honor Harrington series, who happened to be in the upper level, and tried to recruit me to the book series, but I don't really know enough about it. Consequently, the second book and the fifth book that I looked through were related together in terms of the planet they visit, which is interesting. But other than that, I can't say much about it other than that. I joked with one of them who was just a consultant, I guess, selling stuff. He was more of a younger guy, and he was talking about different MacGuffin devices. He'd been in that panel I'd been earlier the day, the first panel I went to, and he was like, yeah, there's some of these like weird weapons that destroy a whole planet or fleet that's kind of silly. Yeah, like Alistair Reynolds when they blew up the planet. So it's like, yeah, because he blew up the planet in a star. So I was like, that's stupid. But one of the Honor Harrington books blows up a planet in a star, Mexico supernova. So yeah, so the guy that was actually promoting it said it was silly, even though it happens in his series too. That's funny. So there you go. That's BayCon 2014. We'll get a shot of Bobby here, and then we'll go on. So yeah, it's over. So. It's not as busy now because it's near the end. And there's the people just filming outside. To film me walking away. Dun, 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 dun. Since they don't do that movie thing anymore. Anyway, in the end, yes, BayCon 2014 was a success. And it'll probably go again next year, but next year, all 4 days, not just basically 3. We'll try that. If it's cool, I mean, their website was a little wonky, so we weren't even sure who was there until the last minute. And, yeah, so they gotta get on the ball, or it'll lose more people like last year. So there is BayCon recap 2014. Go to BayCon 2015, go to their website. This is Kal Kat. This is not associated in any way with BayCon. So these are the opinions, strictly the opinions of KETS. And they do not represent an actual company that actually has any clout at BayCon. So yeah, That's a blog, so it's a fan thing. So with spaceships in it that go to black holes. Yes, exactly. So so yeah, it's not a thing. So don't worry about it. Yeah.